WPTV.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of WP Sports That's here on WPTV. I'm your host, Samory Rose, and as we count down the days to the end of this semester here on the virtual desk, we are bringing all the latest in WP baseball, the NBA, and the MLB. And here to break all that down with me, we have Joe, Justis, and Anthony. Anthony, we're going to go to you first. The Pioneers are red hot, and when I mean red hot, I mean red hot. What's going down at Jeff Albies? Because, it's the place to be right now, right?
Samory, they are indeed red hot. I mean, they blew out Rampo yesterday, 8-0. We'll talk about that game. Speaking of the starting pitcher of that game, Darmani Rivas has been killing it all season long. So we're going to do a little bit of a spotlight on him. No matter how you want to put it, though, as good as the pitching's been, the offense has been just as good. So we're going to talk about some offensive MVPs that we think are for the Pioneers this season. And, the Pioneers, they got a little revenge that they got to get this weekend against Caton. And we're going to talk about those games too.
It's going to be fun to watch. The Pioneers are looking like the mid-90s Atlanta Braves with the pitching staff that they have, and we're all here for it as Pioneers. Justis, the NBA season is getting real hot. The postseason starting in about a month and some change. KD came back last night. You're our resident Net fan. What's going on in the world of hoops?
Yes, KD is finally back when unfortunately James Harden is now out for 10 days with a hamstring injury. So we're going to talk about whether or not the Nets should be worried about the health of their team. And the Hornets are surprisingly still the 4th seed in the East. However, LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward are going to miss significant time. So we're going to talk about their chances of staying in the playoffs. The Lakers picked up Andre Drummond to try to, negate the Brooklyn Nets in the East. So we're going to talk about what kind of impact he's going to have when AD and LeBron come back. And we're going to give you our MVP picks, which may or may not surprise you.
Yes, I know. Look, we've been doing this basketball block for a little bit on this show. We know we're going to get some surprising things out of that block, but I can't wait for it. Joe, Nick Castellanos is like Michael Jackson on Thriller. He wants to be starting something. The MLB season's gotten underway, and Joe, we're just going to go to you based off that first. The MLB's already on fire. So what do we got?
All right, we're a week into the season, and it has been a crazy week. We got to talk about Nicholas Castellanos. What happened there with the brawl with the Cardinals and the Reds? We're going to break it down. A couple of teams that have had a strong start to this season, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros, both of them sitting at only one loss. We're going to talk about which one's successes are more legitimate. But unfortunately, you can't have an MLB season, of course, without the injury bug biting, and it has bitten a lot of superstars really quickly. So we're going to talk about which guys we think are going to be missed the most by their teams. And then the New York Metropolitans, yikes, 4 games into the season, they're 2-2, but they have not looked particularly good while doing it. We're going to talk about how Steve Cohen and the rest of the organization can right that ship.
Yes, hell of a show we got on the docket today. I feel like this is going to be a good one. But next, Pioneers have been white hot, as we said at the top of A block, to start the 2021 campaign. And we're going to head down to Jeff Albies with Anthony and the rest of the Pioneer crew to break down all on the diamond for the Pioneers. And that will be coming up next here on WPTV.